Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna leave. I'ma get right. Get right. Down to the bottom and scratch it for all the.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus Grant.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
And best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
But I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network, and we're here for a special Monday night edition of Friday Night Mocks. We'll call it our Monday Night Mocks.
Right?
I'm
Monday
here with
Night
my
Mocks.
boy Fishing Frank because he didn't want to grade tonight. He wanted to mock himself. Welcome back, Frank, man. How's it going, Frank? How you doing?
It's going good, man. I'm glad to be back over here. You know, the draft, just went by so fast to me, honestly. I was like, we just started our draft here, and I'm like, I feel so unprepared still. I still got so much reading to do and guys, film to watch, and I was trying to cram all that in as much as I could here recently. So, let's hope. Let's hope I'm prepared. Let's see what we got in store for the season. I'm just looking forward to it. It's some really cool stuff. Some really, I thought it was a really good draft, except for the Falcons. But other than that,
Yeah, we definitely talked about that on Friday, man. And that was good, but we'll get your takes here, of course, of the draft. And of course, we want to welcome everybody in. We're doing a Dynasty Superflex 3 wide receiver, 2 flex startup mock tonight here. So we got everybody kind of rolling in again. Fire Fleet in the house. What's up? We got Smokey the Cat stopping by. What up, Smokey? How's it going, man? For any of you guys new out there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for us, man. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button. It helps us out just as much. We hit that 1,000 subscriber mark last season, so hopefully we can hit that 2,000 mark this year. So help us get going, man. Hit that subscribe button for us. We're here for you guys. When we get the season started, we'll be here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. We do overreaction show here on Mondays. We'll do Wednesday roster management, buy, sell, trade. Fridays we're doing game by game start six, taking your live Q&A on every live show that we do. So you got any questions or comments, make sure you drop them in the chat. And then Classic is here on Sunday mornings doing those last minute active inactives and get your last minute start sit advice to get those lineups right before kickoff. So make sure you guys check that out. And of course, this show is brought to you by our boys over at TrophySmack.com. Make sure you guys go cop yourself one of these for taking home those championships, man. Use that promo code GetRight. We got the link down in the description. So without any further ado, man, let's get this mock started. We got the boys in the room tonight. Got a couple new faces out there. So shout out to you guys. Got our boy Jeezy in the house here too. So shout out to the ACG Veterans League, which is kicking off. So I'm in there, charity league. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys go reach out to Jeezy, get the invite to the league, man. It's a great support and charity that they do. We got them boys in the house. We got our new subscriber and boy in here, Wicked Pompano, I think it is there. So what's up, man? Welcome. So without any further ado, let's get this draft started, man. What are we waiting for already? Got these guys sitting in here. Looks like I, ended up with the 101 here. So it's very interesting in a Dynasty startup. And again, just so you guys know, it is 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, 1 super flex. So I'm sure we'll see a run of QBs go off the board. And I'm going to do something a little
randomized to start. I was picking that position.
Yeah, no, we always do a randomized 3 times. That's our tradition out here at Get Right Fantasy, as you guys know. So when you get in a mock with us, man, just grab a spot. We're going to randomize the order. And I guess I got lucky here and got the 101. And I'm going to get crazy here with it, man. In a Dynasty startup, if I had the 101, give me CJ Stroud, bro. What do you think? What do you think about that?
He was on fire last year, but I don't know. I don't hate it. I mean, Mahomes, with his new weapons and whatnot, he's looking pretty good. They re-signed Kelsey for another 2 years. Yeah, I just drafted Xavier Worthy. I know that he's have problems over there with help me out,
Rashee Rice.
Ricey Rice. Yes, you know what I mean. But I can't hate it. It was balling out last year.
Yeah. I mean, you got Josh Allen, probably should be the consensus 101. Obviously, lack of weapons, losing Stephon Diggs over there. 27 years old, so he's kind of getting a little on that older side. Mahomes is sitting at 28 right now, but obviously still at the peak of his game. But give me the guy showing the promise at only 22 years old, 6 years ahead of these guys. If I'm at the 101, I'd be surprised if you don't kind of see that, kind of happen. And again, just kind of thinking of what my build's going to be later on, down the road. Obviously, I don't have a pick for, a good amount of time here in the one spot. So my whole thing is let me get young early and kind of see what ends up falling to me here, on the 2-3 turn. Most likely, you'll probably go receiver, or receiver quarterback. Typically like to get those 2 quarterbacks within the first 4 picks, as we kind of know. And there it is. Oh, Caleb Williams to Jeezy at the 108. So yeah, so go Stroud, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Frank, you go with Jalen Hurts, who you have in our Get Right Fantasy League. Jake the Snake in the house going with Joe Burrow. You got our one and only FF Tycoon here, part of the Get Right crew in this mock, but not on screen tonight, just mocking with us. He goes Justin Jefferson at the 107. Again, Jeezy with the Caleb Williams pick at 108. You have our ambassador extraordinaire, Mr. Wilson 27, going with Jamar Chase as your wide receiver 2. So kind of not feeling the CeeDee Lamb stuff over there. And then you got who's this? Arlenis taking a rookie running back here. Yeah. So just so you know, Arlenis, this is a dynasty. If you're watching, it's a dynasty startup. Not a rookie startup. So just so you know, that's what we're dealing with there. So I don't know if he meant to do that. It might kind of mess up the mock here. I would like to pause it if we can. What do you think? Or should we just let it go?
I don't think he would have drafted that guy. I mean,
yeah, everyone kind of in the chat is saying
take your guy. You know what I mean? Always,
yeah.
But at the same time, it's got to make sense. Like,
yeah, let me. I'm gonna remove this player here. We're gonna get Arlenis back on the clock here, and I guess he just kind of left. So at least we'll go with an auto pick, and at least keep it going okay. So it happens sometimes. You get these new folks in here with us when we put it out in the sleeper lobby, but that's all right, man. So we'll just resume the draft here. He probably thought it was a rookie draft. Maybe didn't know exactly what's going on. So Bijan's a better pick there at the 110. I can see that. Followed by Spitta with CeeDee Lamb. And then we have Aka Tavoli, it looks like, here at the 112, a new drafter here with us. So here we go. So what else do we have here? We got Dim Boys in the house saying Stroud doesn't have much farther up to go fantasy-wise. He doesn't run enough, and his passing numbers just aren't consistent enough to sustain high fantasy production year after year. He says Allen is the 101. So according to Dim Boys, I screwed up there, but hey, it's a mock. I want to see what's going on here. You never know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Dim Boy says he'll jump in if we need to.
That rookie came in here, and I mean, he showed that he was NFL quality and just able to be in the NFL already, like right off the bat. And I think that shows a lot. It takes a lot to be able to do that, especially at the quarterback position. So I think that he's gonna grow from there. I don't think he's gonna not be consistent, because he's shown that he could ball it out.
Right.
I'm on the other side. I'm with you on what you're doing, especially as a startup. You know what I mean? You're getting the young player. You're gonna have him for a lot long, his whole career, obviously, and he's really young. So I mean, you got many years to go with hopefully, even if he's just consistent, steady Eddie guy. Even if he doesn't ball out, at least you got that guy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So we'll leave that there. We got a GG's Mob Squad in the house. What's up, man? How's it going, Bobby? How you doing? Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to use your government name on here, but how's it going? We got a.
Did you say your government name?
Yeah, it's government name. I was supposed to throw that out there. You might have people, looking
Everybody
for
said
it. You never know.
You want to get them boys in here?
Yeah, but it just sucks with Sleeper, I guess. Once you've started the mock, you can't really add someone in, so that is just going to be an auto draft spot. The only way would be is if we completely started all the way over, which I know with the folks that we got in here probably wouldn't be too hard to get it started. But I mean, one auto draft isn't too bad. I mean, the ADP isn't great here. It does kind of suck, but it is what it is. This is what happens when you just go impromptu on a Monday night. Usually we have these things, give those things reserved days in advance to come mock on here with us, but we'll take it. We'll take it. All right. So again, after the CeeDee Lamb pick, it went Marvin Harrison Jr. That was an auto pick, but then Akadavoli comes back and goes Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is kind of one of the pretty much a consensus top 4 pick there as far as where he's going. You got Spitta coming with Anthony Richardson. Team 10 gets that auto pick with Breece Hall, so the top 2 running backs off the board. Wilson goes Christian McCaffrey to pair with Jamar Chase. So not a bad start there, kind of punting on QB. So we'll get back to that and see how that happens. You got Jeezy going Caleb Williams and then Jaden Daniels here. We'll see how that works out. We'll see how that goes on his build. Obviously, he's going for a younger build here, going with 2 rookies out of the gate. You have Tycoon pairing up Justin Herbert with Justin Jefferson, and then you got Arthur Juan paired up here with Joe Burrow, and then Frank Hugo, Garrett Wilson. So you go wide receiver here in this type of build, and then you have Gimme Dat going with Puka Nacua here at the 209, and then we have Kybro 13 here on the clock. We'll see what he does, Josh Allen. So as far as me coming around here on the turn,
what do you think about Marvin Harrison getting taken 4th out of these wide receivers?
I mean, I could see in Dynasty, in Dynasty, you're kind of just collecting, assets at the top of the draft. I don't really look at it so much because, when you're building a redraft team, you're kind of drafting and you're setting up a team. There's kind of a specific construction you want. To me, in Dynasty Startup, you kind of want to follow format, of course, but you're just kind of, building assets. So if you kind of want to go with the, younger team just out of the gate, I understand the pick, but
I always just worry about the unknown.
Amon-Ra
obviously,
first.
Marvin Harrison has the pedigree and whatnot. You know what I mean? But I just got to see it always in the NFL. It always makes me worried, especially taking it as your number 1 pick. But then, like you're saying, it's a Dynasty Startup. You're getting the youth, getting that. All that going for you. I do like the Amon-Ra St. Brown pick though, right after that. So that's a solid wide receiving core to start it with.
Absolutely. And again, it is 3 wide receivers, so I'm probably going to go receiver here. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. Yeah, a little older, but give me that production now. Still going to have value. This is where it's interesting. Like, do I go get a guy like Neighbors, rookie that has, good talent, young, or do I get or do I get someone like, Olave, Waddle, Ayuk, someone a little more proven? I even have the ability to go Nico Collins. I don't know. He's probably going to be a Niner here this year. I don't know if he gets traded this year, but we'll see what happens. I don't think we can get Debo and Ayuk. So, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening there. There's also the opportunity here to go quarterback. I could wait there, but I'm going to get real interesting here. And let me go. I'm going to go running back here, and I'll go Jonathan Taylor.
Really? Oh,
yeah. Wow. So kind of when I'm doing that, if I got an older wide receiver, my thoughts are, all right, let me just try to build a win now team here out of the 101 spot. Probably would have been a little better maybe now if I did go someone like Allen, if I was going to go with kind of some older guys here on the 2-3 turn. But, there could be some guys here where I can get some value later on in the draft. So, I'll kind of do the rainbow start with the, wide receiver running back, kind of just lock, a top guy in each one of those positions. So we'll see how this build turns out. Oh man, yeah. So we had Firefleet, and he said this is give me that cheese. So this is Firefleet. So what's up, man? How's it going? Welcome. Like his start so far, man. Mahomes, Love, and Neighbors. So we'll see what he does there. Probably should have went Neighbors, but we'll see what happens. And we had Wicked Pompiano said he gave the channel a good look. He loves the content already, and he's stoked to see what's to come. So we appreciate you, man. It's our 4th season doing this thing. So we're still a little rough on the edges. We're not professionals. We do this on, just kind of on our own time, but we are full on
And
degenerates here.
and the shoestring budget.
Exactly. But we are full on degenerates. We do give the info, we put in the work, dive into those numbers, and we're here consistently throughout the year. First and foremost in the off season to get your, mock drafts in there. So when it comes to your real drafts, you're hitting them, like you could do them in your sleep. And, on the flip side of that, helping you out throughout the year. We're here for you. A lot of the times you can't gloat or, complain to your other league mates and stuff like that. So this is a place you can come to, and we'll hear everything you have to say, good, bad, or indifferent, man. And you can share that with us and go through the season. So that's what we're here for, man. That's what Overreaction Mondays are for, man. We let it all out on Mondays, man, for sure. So we appreciate it, man. Hit that like and subscribe button for us, guys. We really appreciate it. Absolutely. Degenerates at heart. There we go. That's what we want. Anyone doing a mock draft here like in April, you're our kind of people. So we appreciate you for being out here. Tycoon, if you're in the chat, man, if you're listening or watching, let me know how my mic volume is. Am I too close to the mic again? I know I was having
sound good to me.
I was having some issues on the last episode, so I tried to adjust my mic. Anyone listening, just kind of let me know how we're doing there. So let's get into it, man. So let's kind of recap that second round. Again, it went Amon-Ra St. Brown, Anthony Richardson, the auto pick with Breece Hall. But then we go Christian McCaffrey, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Arthur Juan, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, and then my Tyreek Hill. The turn comes around. I go Jonathan Taylor, followed by Neighbors. We have two more quarterbacks come off the board, Murray and Lawrence. And then, I'm sure we'll see a pretty big kind of drop from there. You have Prescott kind of right in that spot, kind of the next best QB up on the board. But he is getting up there in age at this point, which is just kind of interesting. 30-year-old, Dak Prescott. I never thought I'd see the thing. Never thought I'd see it. I mean, in my eyes, he's still like that rookie. Yeah, I mean, MVP potential candidate last year, top 3 type quarterback, followed by another, top 3 type quarterback in Brock Purdy as far as fantasy goes, or just kind of overall numbers, whatever you'd want to say on that. I mean, I guess he did, lose in the Super Bowl, so at least he got there. Still not ready to talk about that. And then you got, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and then you get some rookies, Drake May mixed in with like Deshaun Watson, then, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield. So we'll see what happens. Probably most likely on me, I'm going quarterback with this next pick. If we can get one of these, kind of top guys, Dak, maybe Purdy, Jared Goff, because I am young with Stroud, I can kind of go with one of these kind of older vet, type guys, for that production, and then see what I can get, even later.
I was thinking the opposite of that. I was like, I could wait another pick because I already got Jalen Hurts. He's not, too young, not too old, in the middle somewhere here. And I could hold off for some youth here coming up later, rookie or something else. So I was looking to get, probably another wide receiver here and just wait for the running backs late. I went with Sam Laporta, taking that first tight end off the board. And I did want to look at Kelsey, but I was like, I'll just go with youth again. This being,
and production, youth and production.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he tore it up, man. He sold me on it. Let's see how the new guy does over here, Brock Bowers over at Vegas. But I really like I really like what Sam Laporta did last year. I'm also looking forward to see if Dalton could get even better this year. And hopefully Mark Andrews continues to do his thing. But I like Laporta. I think he ended up finishing number 1 last year, right?
Yeah. So you're tied in 1, overall. So not bad. Can't, argue, with the stats, 120 targets, 86 catches, 889 yards, and got the 10 touchdowns, which is, great for a rookie tight end. I think he's pretty much the consensus tight end 1 this year. So good spot for him. I agree with Jake the Snake, who mentioned it in the mock chat. That auto draft though. So the auto draft doesn't really pick up the fact that it's Superflex, so it kind of makes it a little weird. We have our ambassador extraordinaire Wilson on an auto draft right now. So come back to us, Wilson. If you hear us, he might be at work or something. I know sometimes he doesn't get good reception out there, so it happens from time to time. But yeah, that auto draft is kind of killing it with all three of those running backs. We saw Saquon Barkley on Monday. I don't think he went until almost like the 6th round, which was kind of crazy. So it'd have been interesting to see, without the auto draft where he might have went. So yeah, so let's finish out that round. Like you said, we had
Oh
the
shit,
2
it's not me.
quarterbacks. Oh yeah, there you go. You got time. You got time. I'll recap this while you're thinking. So we got Kyler Murray going at the 303. You have Trevor Lawrence going at the 34. Like you said, you had Laporta go next, followed by Waddle, ETN, Chris Olave, Kyron Williams, and then the auto pick Barkley. Then we have Devonta Smith, and then Dak Prescott and Ayuk on the turn, followed by Drake London, Michael Pittman, Nico Collins, and then Frank goes with the rookie pick here for his wide receiver 2 with Dunze. So we'll see what happens there, paired up with Caleb. So Jeezy might have thought Odunze was going to maybe fall back to him to see if he can get that stack, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I like the pick. Obviously one of the top 3 wide receivers, in the draft. Obviously it was Harrison Jr., Neighbors, and Odunze were kind of the consensus top 3, and that's basically how they went in the draft. And then at least he's paired with Caleb, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Out of the 3,
Chicago was, kind of one of the teams that had one of the better drafts anyway. So it seemed like consensus bias as well, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, when you got all those like top picks, like 2 picks and like the top, what was it, 3 or 4 like picks that they had or something like that. Yeah, you can't really go too bad with 2 top 10 picks. So, but yeah, no, I mean, they did good. I think they did the right thing, took best player available. So, we'll see what ends up happening there. So then you have McBride go right after that to Give Me That Cheese. And then Kybro comes in here with DJ Moore. We'll see what he does with the Dunze there. If that may open him up, you get Wicked Pompano. He goes DK Metcalf. That's my boy. So that does kind of hurt there. Now we're sitting on my other boy, Rashee Rice. I don't know if you saw the news. Tank Dell got shot over the weekend.
Yeah.
Man, got shot.
But he
that
was
was
just
crazy.
It was just at a party or something like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he wasn't like doing anything crazy or anything like that. But yeah, that was still kind of.
He just
Yeah, it wasn't like on him. Yeah, exactly. So it's still kind of crazy though.
Yeah.
But we'll see what ends up happening there. So let's see. So I might get a little weird right here. Let me take my guy
fire on him, just like it did Brian Robinson Jr. He came out pretty good. He got shot,
right? Yeah, he is all right. That's my guy too. So I'm gonna go take Tank Dell here. I'm gonna take Tank Dell, and I'm actually gonna go just super young since I have Hill. I want to get some guys that will, maybe pull up. I probably should go quarterback right here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get my guy. He's probably gonna get suspended here a couple times and things like that. But let me get Rashee Rice, man. So let me get young with those wide receivers there and see what happens. Obviously, you got Rashee Rice dealing with the whole incident, and for the most part, we expect multi-game suspension this year. But as far as the dynasty realm, he's not falling too far for me. He is attached to Rice. Yeah, they did grab Xavier Worthy. They did sign Hollywood Brown this offseason as well. But I think if anything, that just make sure that defenses can't just completely try to game plan him out. You're going to have to account for those those other weapons. Not to mention Travis Kelce's still there. You got Pacheco, who's a threat on the ground, and then obviously Mahomes pulling all the strings and making it all happen. So yeah, I'll take a piece of that offense with the Rashee Rice, who finished last year as probably one of the best rookies that had come in and picked up that, Andy Reid offense. We usually always hear that it takes so long for those rookies to come in and produce. He did finish as the wide receiver 27 overall last year in full PPR, hit 102 targets, 79 catches, just missed 1,000 yards at 938 and did have 7 touchdowns. And again, that was a lot of, work in the beginning that he didn't really do much. It was a lot, that he did on the back end. So, we'll see what ends up happening. So definitely taking some risk here and just kind of seeing how my team can kind of round out and come together. So what'd you end up doing there? You got your first running back off the board?
Running back, yeah. figured out, and to kind of square up the team. I looked at the rest of the quarterbacks that are available, and I just felt comfortable waiting. And looked at the number of teams already have taken 2 QBs, and I was like, there's even there's plenty left. Basically, I'm comfortable with some of the other guys still, and I just felt like now is the time to take at least one running back. You know what I mean, and maybe just go back right to wide receiver or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if I wasn't going to go Rashee Rice, I may have went, Flowers or Addison, who were the two next, wide receivers off the board. My thought process, which I don't know if it may happen or not, but if I did, take Addison, then over Rice, my goal would have been to hopefully, see if McCarthy would have fallen, back to me here at, like the 6'12", 7'1", the 6'7" turn, so that I can maybe get that stack with McCarthy and Addison. And see what happens. So, yeah, but we'll see. Probably going to go quarterback here next. But yeah, so let's see. Where'd we leave off there? So Flowers, Achane goes off the board. Addison, Ken Walker to you. T. Higgins, followed by Kyle Pitts to Tycoon, who's lightly killing this draft right now with much better than Friday Tycoon. He's sitting with Justin Jefferson, Herbert, Etienne, Brock Purdy, and now Kyle Pitts. So, so not bad at all. We'll see how he ends up going here in the 6th. But then we have Pacheco go off the board after Pitts, followed by Jared Goff, then Kincaid. Then you have Josh Jacobs, Rashad White, and then Travis Kelce going here on the turn as the tight end 5 here in our Dynasty mock. Then you got Spitta going with JJ McCarthy. Probably shouldn't have said anything. Maybe McCarthy might have made it back to me, but that's what happens.
He wasn't going to make it back to you. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, all right. So we'll see. I was just trying to take a chance. You guys are all going crazy over here. And then our team 10 finally goes quarterback here with Deshaun Watson, which is tough because maybe I would have gone for the Deshaun Watson experiment here again this year, but we'll see what happens. Our boy Wilson goes Deebo Samuel. Jeezy goes with George Pickens over there. And then again, we got Tycoon on the clock right now trying to decide where he's going to go. So we'll see what happens. So what are your kind of thoughts here as your picks coming up to you? Still need that second quarterback. You do have 2 wide receivers.
To get somebody. You might, might even wait a little longer, but I'm not feeling comfortable.
Oh, Tycoon. I know you probably never take.
At this point, the guys are like unproven. I could get either a veteran or just go to an unproven like Drake May. Bryce Young did okay last year. He got some help this year. He looked like he might be doing better. I'm still thinking about it here.
There you go.
Who else we
you're
got
on the
here?
clock. While you're getting to that, I'm gonna get to Wicked.
Which already got a tight end. I don't need anything like that. It's just just really looking at right now. I think a wide receiver. I just might actually take.
Don't take my guy.
Wide receiver. So
that's all I'm trying to say. While you're getting to that, we got Pompano in here saying, who are some of your guys' late round rookie sleepers that we're keeping an eye on. Full disclosure, Wicked. I don't think I really have any like late round dynasty picks. Just my preferred method of playing on all my dynasty teams. I basically trade all those late picks away. I'll never kind of come up on a guy like Nakua. I usually just kind of package those things up and make them as fillers when I'm trying to make some other trades go on. So give me a couple more weeks, and as we start doing some more of these rookie mocks and kind of seeing who's fallen there late now that we have all the draft spots. So just tune in, and we'll get to that. And especially our boy Tycoon. I'm sure he'll be coming on here soon on Wednesdays, hitting us with that dynasty aspect. Get into those rookie picks. But so there's a couple guys out there that are sitting there late, but I don't know if I have like favorites right now or like super sleepers or anything like that. Quite at this point, the dust is still settling. Is still settling.
I'm still
right, so of course, Frank, you took my guy. Of course, you took my guy.
I took your guy. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry. don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's who I wanted to go with.
Yeah, he's nice. I'm literally in my research stage right now. Now that the draft is over, I don't we really don't have time to watch all the film and everything else. So right now I am doing all the film watching as much as I can, going through some of the guys, and really just moving. I try to look past, the top 10, 20, because those are all pretty much hashed out. You're going to move one up, down by preference or what your needs are, but you kind of know who those guys are. And I do like to look more into the later rounds and see who's out there and look at film at those guys, and just to see who you like and see if the numbers match up what you see on the field. Sometimes you got guys with good stats, but they just, it's kind of padded. You know what I mean? You got to see it on the field. I'm more of an eye test guy, I guess I should say, right? I feel those guys. I'm
Yeah.
like, that guy's
Screw
got
the college
talent.
tape. I want
Yeah,
to see guys going against real pro guys, and then
yeah,
I'll make my judgment. Yeah, and
exactly.
again, that's why I said like I usually trade my picks off, man. I'm just that kind of player. I think every league needs a guy like me who just dishes those picks out. It makes for a nice even balance. So I kind of put myself in a situation here, and I'll go ahead and explain what ended up happening here with me. So I definitely needed some kind of veteran status in my lineup here. I did have Tyreek Hill, of course. Then I go with the two younger guys, Dell and Rice. But then what ends up happening is now I come around this turn, and this is again as you do more mocks as the season's coming along here, and this is why we do this. Knowing that I'm going to have these decisions later on, where I have an opportunity to get someone maybe like Diggs to potentially partner up, stack with Stroud. Let me pretend like I actually do a fantasy football show and use the proper lingo here. So get that stack with Stroud and Diggs. But I went with the young stack with Dell instead, and then I went Rashee Rice, and then of course the other option down in this area could have been Xavier Worthy. But I already have Rice, so I kind of don't want to get the double stack there. So kind of forced me in a position to take a gamble here on Cooper Kupp or Mike Evans. Um, you know, Probably just should have went Mike Evans, but I wanted to leave him
Shoot, he
available for
just took
my
Xavier.
boy.
Why'd you even say Xavier Worthy? The guy just
Yeah,
took
I
him.
mean, come on, he's there. We're not hiding. We're just doing a mock, man. This is what it's supposed to do. We're supposed to,
I wanted that guy.
this is how we get better.
That was my guy.
We talk about our thoughts, let people take our guys, and it makes us, pivot on the spot here. That's how we stay ready, Frank. Don't got to get ready if we stay ready. But yeah, so Cooper Kupp here, coming to his age 30 season. And then I had the option of, Mike Evans, which maybe I, could have went there. Both are sitting behind, veteran quarterbacks. I do trust Stafford a little more, which is why I kind of lean Kupp, even though Baker had a great, season last year. Again, Mike Evans also 30 years old, finished as a wide receiver 7 overall last year, playing in a terrible division. Probably should have went Mike Evans. But again, I want to leave him available for my boy Jeezy here, our Tampa Bay fan, so that he can grab him. Nah, not at all. I didn't mean to do that. But if Cooper Kupp can come in healthy this year, again,
No,
if
not
I'm
at all.
kind of
You don't
going
need
for a
to do
little
that.
bit of a win now type setup with Cousins and Kupp, um, I feel okay. Then I will have to get those rookie picks going. So we'll see what happens. All right. So yeah, anything else you see on here? I see you went Bryce Young as
Bryce
your
Young.
QB2. That's a little interesting, but they did put some pieces around him here in the
That's
draft.
what I
They're
was
kind of
thinking.
building around him. So what are your thoughts here on Bryce and the potential upside that he could have here? Obviously they put a nice running back behind him with Brooks.
Brooks, yeah.
To see what happens with Sanders and Chuba over there. Obviously they went and signed Deontay Johnson. They still have Adam Thielen, who did put up points last year. Then Jonathan Mingo been trying to make a name for himself. So what do you think?
Well, that's what I was
Uh,
thinking is, the added running back help kind of take the pressure off the quarterback a little bit. You know what I mean? That kind of scenario where it gives them some time to actually, throw the ball and, just that, again, this pressure relief, which, that helps any quarterback just to be able to run the ball and not have to be, dependent on his arm the whole time. And I think that again, he's a young guy, so let's see if he develops into something. I thought I could take him, and I'm also looking to maybe come back with the vet guy because I mean we still got like guys like Aaron Rodgers still out there and Matthew Stafford or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'd be all right with some of those guys later on, just to kind of pad the locker room per se. You know what I mean? some weeks maybe they, you kind of roll with those other guys.
There
I
we
was
go.
even looking at just later on, you know what I mean? Like, just take another third quarterback. I do like to have a backup, especially, in the super flex. You got two guys. You need at least one more for a bye week, or just even somebody goes down. What are you going to do?
Mhm.
Last year, how many quarterbacks did not go down? I think like
A ton of them
12.
went down.
Yeah.
They all
So
went
that's all I got
down.
to say about
They
that.
all went down the hill.
You know,
But yeah, and again, I pointed this out on the Friday episode. So I'll get an idea or kind of tell you what I mentioned on Friday's episode was just because the second quarterback you drafted off the board is like a rookie or a younger guy doesn't mean necessarily that that's the guy that you have to start as your QB2. You're going to have to draft the younger quarterback a little earlier, kind of like where you did here with Bryce, but you could still come back around and get guys like Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, Geno.
get the vets
There's
later
still
on.
guys out here, those older veterans that are going to, fall. People aren't going to use those early draft pick assets on, those older, aging kind of vets who could be their last year or two. So you still have that opportunity. So spend the higher capital, with the younger guy like Bryce that has some potential. Obviously, top 3 pick. In the real draft, I mean, he went one overall. And so we'll see, if that turns into anything. So, oh man, has that been going on this whole time? You didn't tell me about the volume going on, guys. Come on.
What, the ticker? No, it just did
Yeah.
it right now. That was like, it did it
The
earlier.
first
but
time?
let me
All right.
Yeah, that was like.
I was like, I thought I
literally
kept hearing it, and I was like, oh wait, here we go. So yeah, so again, just remember that strategy. You can get your younger guy early. Doesn't mean that has to be your QB2. You can still roll with one of those veterans, later on. What else we got going on here? Let me see.
Like money for doll. I can tell you his RSP rating 28th, so I gotta look him up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and going back to the Carolina thing, we mentioned the wide receivers there, and of course, obviously they've got Xavier Legette.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
the other
moved
thing
up
I was
into
going to
the
mention.
first
There's a
round.
lot of Xavier
Yeah,
players.
they
Like 3 of
moved.
them
They
have
moved up.
noticed.
Yeah, kind of like a hometown guy, I guess. From South Carolina College. So Xavier Legette, 6'1", 221, 23 years old. And then Panthers moved up to get into the first round to draft him 32nd overall. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
They're trying to put some weapons around them. So we'll see if that obviously they have to improve. They were like the worst offense last year, so the only way you can go is up.
It's only way up, right? On your way up.
Yeah, for sure. So you're on the clock now, so you'll get that in. Let's see. So Wicked also asked, he'd love to know if you guys are doing any Dynasty startups this year with viewers. So I think I've only done like one Dynasty startup like myself. I have this weird like fixation with fixing things, I guess, and I love taking over orphan teams. And kind of just seeing if I can make turn something into turn nothing into something. So I really like that challenge of taking over an orphan team. But I definitely want to get another Dynasty going where I actually drafted it. So I've done two startups myself. One was an IDP Superflex, and then of course our Get Right league as well. So the other ones are all orphan teams, man. But we'll see. But we do have a mock draft tournament, Wicked. If you're still listening to us here, we do a mock draft tournament. It's going to start July 29th. Make sure you check in the description for the information to that tournament. Make sure you join our private Sleeper channel. The link's there as well. Doesn't cost anything. It's kind of just like a Discord, but it all stays on Sleeper. And we, open up the mock draft lobbies there. We give out cash prize, for the winner of the mock draft tournament. So it's kind of a unique thing that we do here at Get Right Fantasy. So if you are interested in getting a mock draft tournament, then check it out. And then again, you can go to our history of our videos and check out the tournament videos and see how those are all kind of run. But it's a lot of fun, man. So again, make sure you guys claim your spot for that mock draft tourney coming up July 29th. And get in there. So let's see. Oh, and we also do listener leagues. We also do listener leagues, redraft leagues, stuff like that. So we got a lot of stuff going on in there, man. So there's a lot of opportunities where you guys can get in the league with us. The biggest way, again, is to just get viewers here to us. So for every new subscriber that you bring to us, have that new person mention, oh, so-and-so, as who, have them leave a comment on one of our, recent videos. Hey, I subscribed because of so-and-so. And then boom, I put you on the list. That's a entry into our, we do a 100-yard dash race. We get those people in to come play in a redraft league with us. Again, cash prize, no buy-in for that as well. So again, it's a lot of fun, and more importantly, you get to try to come beat Frank and myself and Classic and Tycoon. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, promo time's over. What do you got going on, Frank? Since I'm on the clock now,
I'm gonna promo myself on my back and just say, hey, I was last year's champ on that listener league. So
hey, shout out.
But
Dang,
I was
flex
over
on
here
him.
taking Stevenson from Fire Feet here, 57. He was looking at Stevenson. I
Sniped
felt
him.
like it's a good time to take another running back. Just kind of round out my starting lineup, so to speak. And it's time to get a couple depth players coming in. Start looking wide receivers and things like that. I just felt um, I don't like New England running back, but out of all of them recently, he's seemed like the workhorse over there. And now that Zeke's back gone again, I don't feel like he's going to get vultured too much at the goal line. So I felt a lot better about him.
There we go. I'm going to go Christian Kirk here. I've always liked him. That slot receiver, gets the targets, gets the production. Got hurt kind of late, which kind of sucks. So you didn't get him for your fantasy playoffs, but most likely he helped you there. So that kind of fills out my my 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes. So I have 5 wide receivers, through my flex spot. Kind of going with that hero RB build here in a, modified here in a Superflex league. So what I'd like to do possibly here too is take another wide receiver in this spot, or just shore up, kind of my starting lineup with either a tight end like David Njoku, or a running back with David Montgomery. So most likely I'm probably going to go David Montgomery here, although I hate kind of the fall off here. I'm kind of considering either Calvin Ridley here or David Montgomery, or David Njoku are my 3 picks. And I'm going to go ahead and just lock in David Montgomery here because, running back does kind of just start to fall off an even more clip. There's still a lot of wide receivers there that I could still like, and I obviously have 5 already. So I'll kind of go David Montgomery there. And as anybody here that's, a veteran of the Get Right channel knows that I'll literally waste the last 2 picks on a tight end.
Right.
You guys know that. So there we go. Let's see. So what do we got going on here? We had the roll coming in here asking, what do you guys think of Kamani Vidal? So was that the guy that Team 10 was trying to take right in the beginning? Is that the guy on Kansas City who's like coming over from special teams or something? That's a different guy?
No, that was something Reese. Yeah, no, that's not the same
okay.
guy.
I don't even know Kamani Vidal at the moment. I apologize for that. I might have just lost all my credit there. But running back, rookie taken here by the Chargers, pick 181. Let's see, 5'8", 213. Short and stout. It looks like. Obviously, there's openings there. They did sign J.K. Dobbins. They did sign Gus Bus over there. They still have Isaiah Spiller, Elijah Johnson. So they got kind of a big time stable of running backs over there. Obviously with Harbaugh, we know they're going to run the ball. So we'll see what happens. Maybe not this year, maybe a good stash. But again, if Gus and JK kind of stay put, and then again you got Greg Roman coming over there, who they're very comfortable with in that Greg Roman offense. So there's not going to be a learning curve for them. They're veterans. They've done it, and they've been somewhat productive there. I was real big on J.K. Dobbins, last year heading into it, coming off his injury year. And then, of course, gets a big time injury again, misses the whole season again. But, if someone signed him this early, that shows, he's healthy and probably ready to go. And again, Greg Roman, trust him. So, I don't think he'll do anything this year per se. But, if you want to stash him, because those guys are not like the guy type guy. And who knows, maybe he comes out, and beats them out. But, you could see if, those guys do have a history of of getting hurt.
Injury.
So
Yeah.
there could be, an opportunity where he sees some playing time. Obviously with the vacated spots of that Austin Eckler leaves there as well. So that's kind of my thought process there. Haven't watched too much film on him myself at the moment. Frank, you're on auto pick, just so you know.
Oh shit! Why is
You
it?
have to turn it off. Yeah,
How do I turn that off? How do you turn that off?
you might have got mesmerized by my long take there.
I was looking at the document too.
Oh, there you go. So there we go. And then Wicked said, thanks for all the info, probably about the when I was going off about the mock draft tournament. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out, man. It's a ton of fun, that mock tourney. And again, it runs 4 weeks. Basically, we run a mock Monday through Friday, one mock every night. All of us here at Get Right, we give our top 6 teams. The 6th place team gets 6 points. The 6th place team gets 1 point, kind of in inverse order. Second gets 5, third gets 4, so on and so forth. And then the top 3 scorers, kind of like a consensus scoring, they move on to that Friday night semifinal round. So then, the top 3 from all 4 of those mocks mock on Friday on the live stream. And then the top 3 from that mock move on to the finale, which will be, basically closer to September and the start of the real season. So kind of sounds a little convoluted, but it is a lot of fun. All you got to really do is just get in a mock and we'll handle the rest. So you just come in and mock a good team and score high. A lot of people who watch the show, of course, and pay attention to our takes and understand the builds that we like, are usually the ones that, do the best. So make sure you keep tuning in. If you want to have an opportunity to win some cash money there. So there you go.
Cash money.
There it is. Oh, and Dim Boys is saying you beat an 11-year-old to win. So don't brag too much, Frank. Shout out to Dim Boys Jr., who took down the listener league the year before, and then was in an opportunity to go back to back. And Frank made sure that we didn't all get beat by 11-year-old twice, back to back years. So we all appreciate you, Frank. So we don't have that story on our resume. And a big time shout out to Dim Boys Jr., who was able to get on the show last year and tell us how he whipped all these adults. And yeah, it was pretty.
He's an 11-year-old.
Pretty humbling.
Doesn't know fantasy football.
Yeah, pretty humbling. I'll tell you that for sure. So we appreciated that, and yeah, that's also part of the perks, man. If you win the one of the listener leagues, then you get to come on Friday night mock episode with us here. Come on the show on camera. Kind of hang out, ask some questions, take us through your team, your moves, any trades, and what you're thinking throughout the year. Give us kind of a little recap. So it's a lot of fun, man. We try to make those listener leagues fun to get into and to play throughout the year. So again, shout out to Dim Boys Jr. Hopefully he'll come back again. And I'm surprised you didn't go for the low hanging fruit there, Frank, and tell him, well, who beat him in the first place? Because Dim Boys Jr. beat out his dad, Dim Boys Sr., to win the first championship.
Oh, right. That's right. Two. I forgot about that.
So, yeah, he can't, So, yeah, you point at one, you got what, 4 pointing back at you, or however that saying goes, right. 3 pointing back at you, or whatever. So, again, shout out to Dim Boys Jr. there.
Back at you.
Yeah. All right. So we got Ethan in here. What's up, Epps? He says Vidal to the Chargers late round. He says a small school guy. Has a path to relevance, late round flyer. He'll be in the mix. And yeah, Ethan is a big time Chargers fan. So we try to come on here, and there was some potential blasphemy that was being talked about. Herbert and Epps came in here and shut that down real quick. So yeah, don't sleep on Herbs. And yeah. Oh, I see you go Blake Corum here with your late pick here. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, obviously, you're a big-time Kyron guy. You got him in several leagues last year. You picked him up. Obviously, what he was able to do for you. I think he was on your team here when you won the Listener League. I think that was one of the teams that you had him on. He was basically like a league winner. So what are your thoughts how that big backfield will happen? Obviously, Sean McVay has the history of, not having a split backfield. He's given kind of one guy the work. Whoever's, deserving of it. He doesn't like to swap guys out much. Do you think Corum has an opportunity to come and take the job from Kyron, or do you think it's just more of kind of, Kyron did miss 6 games last year, so there's just kind of just some insurance
I
for him?
think I think it's an insurance policy. He's gonna go with this proven guy. You know what I mean? But I mean, in the future, it's gonna be Blake Corum. I think. You know what I mean? But I think it's not gonna. It's not this year. Maybe not even next year, right? But we are building
Okay.
for a dynasty startup here, so I'd like to have that guy on my team. Eventually, he may just be the starting guy. Like, as you mentioned, they don't like to share the role, but I think he's going to get some good games. And if Kyron goes down, you got this guy.
There you go.
No, I like him. I've seen some tape on him. I like him.
For sure. I'm in a tough spot here. I mean, basically, running back's pretty much bone dry, so I feel like, I need to maybe get at least someone like a
You don't
Brian
want your
Robinson
guy?
here.
I was about to say you don't
Yeah,
want your guy, Brian
yeah, I was gonna
Robinson.
say I'm probably gonna have to go Brian Robinson here just to get a little bit of depth off my bench here. But we'll see what ends up happening. I kind of
No
like
Jalen
Chase
Wright
Brown as
for
well.
Miami.
I mean, you can, but you still have, Mostert and Achan there. I mean, it's still,
He
they
said
still
he's
have
going to take
Ahmed and
Mostert's job. He's going
all
to take
these
Mostert's job.
guys. Then it just really starts falling off a cliff there. So,
Yeah, it does. It does
um,
really quick. That's why I said
yes,
I'm gonna get this quorum guy. I already had two anyways. I was like,
yeah,
the
I'm gonna go
auto
ahead and
pick
go
me Chris
Njoku.
Godwin, so I'm like, okay,
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna go Chris Godwin. Or I'm sorry, Chris Godwin. See, look what you did to me.
Njoku,
I'm gonna go
Njoku,
Njoku here, get my tight end, kind of
yeah,
sure up my starting lineup, and then of course on the turn here, I'm gonna just go ahead and go and grab Brian Robinson. Not the greatest of picks, not a great dynasty pick, but again, we're down here in 11. Again, older guy. We don't know if he'll get that extension or anything like that. 25 years old. So I still see the potential there. Obviously, Austin Eckler's going to come in and probably have or do even better job with that role than what Antonio Gibson was able to do. But I still think he's their ground and pound type guy. If they do have a better offense this year, should equate to more touches, maybe more opportunities for scoring. Scoring touchdowns. But if I mean, he did finish in PPR still as the um, RB21. So I mean, he's still a top 24, RB2 basically,
yeah,
with 5 touchdowns, 178 attempts, 733 yards. Was still able to get 36 catches for 368 yards and 4 touchdowns. So it's not like they completely, take him off the field, in passing situations or, don't look for him in the passing game. He does okay. And again, he had a couple weeks last week where he was the kind of RB1 or a
a
top
couple of weeks
RB.
last week.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's put up some, 20-point games here and there.
Oh
Not
man,
consistent with that, but yeah, I mean, I feel like he's one of those guys where he's just a nice place filler. He's not going to hurt you for the most part, but he's not going to win you a week though.
yeah,
He's just one of those, guys that you just need on your team to fill out your roster. So I'll take him as my RB3. Um, we got Dim Boy saying he also beat me to get in the finals to go against Frank. So he got his ass whooped by his son. He's getting his ass whooped by his son all the time.
all the
So
time.
shout out to Dim Boys Jr. putting that stank on dad 2 years in a row, ending his season. So tough household over there in the Dim Boys household. So there we go. Epps is saying anyway, he has an early morning. So yeah, we were texting right before. That's why he didn't jump in on the mock. Appreciate you stopping in on the stream, man. Dropping in some comments. Really appreciate that. Hopefully hit that like button for us. We already know you're subbed, Epps, so we appreciate that. And again, shout out to my boy Epps, man. He got me into my first auction league, which I've been trying to, as Frank, been trying to get people to do for years.
Yeah,
Could never get, another 11 other degenerates that want to go the auction route.
auction route. Yeah,
So I
it's
was
not my
finally
thing.
able to get into a paid auction league with Epps, man. It was a ton of fun last year. I did awful. Which was great because to me that's a learning experience. Picked it up kind of towards the end. I felt like I did right. I just suffered some injuries here and there. Drafted Damian Pierce and a couple other guys that just didn't quite work out. I was pretty happy with my team, but yeah, I think I either exited in the first round or finished like 7th. Like I barely missed the playoffs. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting in that league again.
Yeah, I want to get into a guillotine league this year. I want to get into a zombie league this year. there's a couple other just like fun leagues that I want to do. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's different than what we normally do.
Expand your horizon. Expand your horizon.
I mean, I'm already concentrated on the ones that we have, and that's why I like those because it's just different play style, even altogether, right? So
Right.
that's why it's not going to interfere with the other ones that I'm working on. Because many times you get so many leagues, I forget what players I have, and I'm thinking, oh, I got them on this team, but I don't have them on this team, and all that kind of stuff. How many leagues did you
Exactly.
have last year? 16? Crazy number.
17, I think it was.
Yeah, that's a crazy
17,
number.
16 or
That's way too
17.
much. That's more than I
Yeah.
have. For
7
sure.
it was 16 leagues. And of the 16, 7 of them were paid. So there was of course some free leagues in there. Or
So
like listener leagues that,
it
didn't have
looks like
buy-ins. But
it
yeah,
looks like I
7
started
leagues.
to run on these quarterbacks here
Oh, there
late.
you go.
'Cause
You
I
got
took
that
Rodgers. I sneaked in my stack
QB3s.
there.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
sneaked in
say
my
you got
stack
the
with Garrett
with
Wilson, you know
Wilson.
what I mean? Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
I
And
was
again,
waiting.
that's
I
why
was
you like to
waiting.
mock. Yeah,
I was
I
waiting
mean,
to see
talk
if I
about the
could do
guy
it.
who has only probably one more year left, if that, Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see what happens, man. I was still bummed out to see, to see what happened to him. Have happened to him last year with that torn Achilles
Yeah.
on like the third or fourth play of the year. That's just terrible. You don't want that. Wish that on anyone. I
But dude
would
is
have loved to
coming
see
back,
what
man. He's
could have
ready.
happened.
He had the special surgery. He was on the field early, throwing the
He
ball
was never
already.
coming back. He
Oh, I
was
know.
never
No, he
coming
wasn't
back.
coming back. No, that
Not
wasn't the
behind that
case.
line. I mean, and that's the
No.
biggest thing is they just need to just get better. Like on the line. Like that's why he got hurt. Like
Yeah.
you got to protect him. You got an old quarterback like that. It's not Justin Fields back there who could run around and escape it. But yeah, man.
Right?
So there you go. And
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
happy
man.
to
I
get him
mean,
at this
Garrett
point.
Wilson.
It was
Yeah,
late. Whatever.
exactly. I just
I
wanted to
got
say
3.
too, Garrett Wilson finished as wide receiver 26 last year with like Zach Wilson, who's like maybe just a little bit better than me at playing NFL quarterback.
Right?
So
Just saying about that, right?
like yeah, so he's almost like QB proof. So if we can get a guy that can put it on time on target with him, then there we go. So we got Wicked in here saying he just joined the Sleeper Get Right channel on Sleeper. He's gonna look forward to seeing if there's any listener Dynasty startups. So absolutely, man. We got people that will be putting leagues in there if they need like an orphan for a Dynasty, if they're starting new leagues. They like putting it in there because it's not just like a bunch of randos per se. It's all people that are part of Get Right. They've all come here. They've hung out with us. They've mocked with us. They like the channel. Or they're in the industry themselves. So it's a good place, to find good, reliable people to be part of your leagues. Instead of just like going to, random, Facebook or, just on Sleeper or like Reddit or wherever else you guys go to find like fantasy football people. So you can always check out that Get Right Sleeper channel. And
You're gonna get
always
good
looking for
quality
stuff.
people.
For
People that
sure.
actually play the season, that stay with their teams, that draft well. Yada
Well, I
yada
kind
yada.
of forgot we were drafting. Am I? Is it on me already or what? Are
No,
we
it's
done
coming
with
up on
this?
me next, but yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay,
coming up on
good. I
you.
was like, I totally thought I missed my pick. Let me move the screen
That's
down so we
cool.
can all see.
They just took Carlos set, and
Um,
it's on me now. And
there you go.
I
All right.
was
Well, while you're
thinking
doing
about
that, I
taking
just
this guy
Dim
down
Boy
here.
said Dim Boy says he has guillotine and zombie leagues for you to get in to join, Frank. So make sure you hit
Oh
him up.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
up, man.
get
Let's
in there,
go.
dude. Dim Boy's
Get
like
some
in
of those.
30 leagues, man. So yeah, he has whatever kind of league you want.
Yeah. No, I'm about to
Whatever
get
kind of
on a
league you
few of
want.
those
Him,
this year.
him and Nick, NNY in our
Yeah,
dynasty league.
knee or
He be
Nick?
doing Nick. He'd be putting a bunch of leagues together.
Oh yeah.
As well. He got in these cool like team leagues last year where you like buddied up with another like owner, and then like you did a special draft. They were called like a mirror and a stack league. So whatever your partner drafted, like that position, you had to draft that same position, like whoever had the first pick, like in that round. Like so, if he went quarterback, then you have to go quarterback that round. And so you kind of had to communicate on how you guys both wanted to build your team from like different draft spots. It was like a $10 buy-in, best ball, winner take all. It's nice when those kind of things are best ball because you don't have to worry about setting a lineup or worrying about injuries or stuff like that. And so it was a lot of fun, man. For $10, I think Classic took down some money in that. So yeah, check. He'll post those in our. Make sure you're paying attention because they'll post them in our Dynasty chat if you want to get into some stuff like that. So he always has good fun leagues. For sure. Yeah, we got leagues for you to get in. Like I said, I'm in 15. Like when we first started this show, I was like doing like 3 or 4. And then yeah, by year 4 now, I'm in like I'm already just starting this year basically with like 15 or 16 leagues if I just leave what I did last year, not even adding anything new. So we'll see. It's hard to go through a whole offseason without adding like at least one orphan team or adding one more new redraft league,
Yeah, exactly.
like, the league that I got this ring for, we added like literally 3 days before the season started. Remember, like, hey, let's just start this league and do it. And then we got people together and
we literally got the league done in like
hit the draft, like got that
2
done.
days.
And then, yeah, there it was, man. And then, yeah, started the kickoff. So, there's always those last minute ones that you get on there. So yeah, he already said he joined that. Oh, and then he said absolutely. He says he can't get enough of our content and our vibe. He said we're some of the goats already. So appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
And again, send us out to your league. I know it's kind of tough. Some people don't like sharing us. Oh, you didn't tell me I was on a clock. You gonna do me like that?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Gonna do me like that, Frankie? See how it is. Luke Musgrave. We're gonna go Luke Musgrave. That's tough. All right, so let me see here.
That was dirty. Dirty on that.
That was dirty. That was gross. All right, so
take Daniel Jones next.
No, I'll never take Daniel Jones next. Let's go with another
Luke Musgrave or Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, I'm thinking if Gabe Davis can do anything over there in Jacksonville this year. You got Jacoby Myers, not really liking quarterback situation over
Russell
there.
Wilson at Pittsburgh?
Nah. I probably would have went actually Schultz over Musgrave, so I wish I could take that back. But let me take a chance with do I want to go Gabe or do I want to go with my quarterback?
My next 2 picks.
Let's just go Derek Carr, even though he was like, yeah, we'll go Derek Carr, even though he was like basically duct taped together last year, like every game. He was duct taping himself back together just to play. You remember that? It was crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. So anyway, so we appreciate you, Wicked. And I think what I was trying to say is people don't like sending us out, to their leagues and stuff like that. But if you have, people in other leagues, to get them over to us, come have them, subscribe. If they subscribe and again, mention your name, leave a comment, or you just hit me up on Sleeper, DM me and say, hey, which I did get your friend invite, and I'll get that done as soon as we get off the stream here, so we can connect. Just let me know, hey, I sent so-and-so, and then boom, we'll get you on the list, which will give you an entry into our drawing for our listener league that we'll do. Our listener leagues, we just do slow drafts because, of course, we have people in all different time zones. So they are slow drafts, and I do them a couple weeks before the season starts to make sure we have enough time to get that draft done before kickoff.
So this is the time you take that guy.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So the rugby guy, right? Luis Rez Zamet.
Yeah,
I know you've been big on that. I mean, it probably would have been later, but because we're only drafting 14 rounds here, normally in Dynasty, you got like 20 bench spots, so he'd be, probably a little later. But for the content of the show, I like that you brought him
throw
up.
Him in there, because he was like early pick over here with this other guy, and I was like, oh, that's way.
I mentioned him. Yeah, I mentioned him. Put him back in here. Like, oh. I know Frank gets mad. I'm like, hey, we're just doing a mock, man. We're here for the people. It helps us get better.
No, I'm not saying that you mentioned. I'm just saying that the guy took him so early.
Oh no, he took like somebody else totally different.
No,
I still forgot.
Guy.
Yeah, no, did he really take him? Oh,
okay. This guy in his first pick. Yes,
maybe he was just a fan. So I was right when I was like, oh, is that rugby guy? So I was right.
No, you were right. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah,
interesting.
Just wanted to pick him later, obviously, or whatever. Obviously, this. I was just my point was this is when you take the dude.
Oh, speaking of which, Frank, free agents open as soon as we get done with the rookie draft. Just so you know, so you might want to make sure you get your bid in for your guy.
Yeah,
get your bid in for your guy. So Dimboy says I'm looking to do a keeper league though, not actually in one of those. Well, Dim Boys, we'll let you know, man. We may have an opening in our home keeper league that has a belt. Which I have the belt right now as we speak. It's right over there, along with my ring and the other belt that it's sitting right next to. Just saying, how to flex on everybody. But yeah, if we end up having a spot open in that league, Classic actually got in it last year. That's one of our long-standing home leagues. It's been around for over 20 years. We recently, a couple years ago, turned it into a keeper league. It's been a ton of fun, and it's one of those ones where you can keep up to 2 guys. And it's a 1 round, penalty from where you drafted them the year before. So no one can keep first round picks. All the first round picks from the previous year go back into the pool. But yeah, you can keep up to 2. So 0, 1, or 2. And yeah, we've had some guys sometimes just throw both their guys back and restart it all over again.
Start fresh.
Yeah. We have one guy that's had Mahomes basically since he was a rookie, like at his 12th pick. So he was been getting Mahomes in like the 13th and 14th round, like the last like 2 or 3 years. It's been crazy. So yeah, keeper leagues are a lot of fun.
No, he's up to,
So
like,
make sure you check it out.
11th or 10th now, or something.
Oh,
like
is
that.
it? Yeah. I was gonna say because it's been a few
It's
years
been a
now.
while now. It's been a while now.
But yeah,
he
he got
did
him like
draft him
literally
early.
with like the
So he
last
did
pick.
draft him-
Yeah,
he drafted him early, like a long time ago.
been getting
Been
value
dealing with
like
that
crazy.
for a minute. Yeah, I've been dealing with that for a minute.
Luckily, he dropped Kittle too because he drafted Kittle as a rookie too, super late, and has been keeping him, and that's been a come up for him as well. But when he got hurt, he dropped him and didn't pick him back up, and the rest is history.
Now he's
So
out
yeah,
there.
keeper leagues are a lot of fun, man, and they have a lot of different settings with that. So yeah, definitely bring it in. So yeah, so of course we'll get into more,
that's not me?
so we'll get into more different types of drafts here as we're rounding out here the 14th. I know we kind of stopped going round by round as we kind of got out here and just kind of started talking to you guys over here, which is more of what we like to do. We like to just hang out, talk some fantasy football with you guys.
Oh, somebody took the pick I
We
was
have the
gonna
draft
make.
here. You can find the link. There we go. We have that link down in the description, so you can view the draft board there if you are watching this after the fact, or if you want to see the picks, more clearly. So that'll be there. And yeah, we should be back next Friday night doing our next Friday night mocks. So again, if you want to hop in with us, just let us know. You're about to be auto picked. Oh, there you go, your guy Taysom Hill. Nice pick there with Khalil Shakir in the 14th. I like that pick. Well done. Give me that cheese. Give me that cheese. Well done. So yeah, so we'll be back here, man, on Friday. It'll be Classic and myself. We're gonna have our boy Santos from the Fantasy Football Tavern, a guy new here to the industry that we're trying to help get going as well too. So we're looking forward to him joining us here on Friday. Tycoon may or may not be able to join us here on Fridays, but definitely keep your guys' eyes out for his content. Coming up here soon as well. He'll typically be on Wednesdays, as we go throughout the year. So yeah, who we gonna have as Mr. Irrelevant in this draft? Let's go with you know what? I do need another running back, and I'm gonna go with a guy, Keaton Mitchell. So just kind of keep you guys' eyes on this guy. Over here, obviously, you got Derrick Henry over there as the RB1, but should something happen to him, or even just with limited touches, we saw what Keaton Mitchell was able to do last year. So on Sleeper, he's literally not projected to come back until like week 6 is when they have the projections, because again, he did tear his ACL late in the year. But again, in Dynasty, if you can maybe make a move, we traded like a 4th round pick for this guy. He could definitely, produce for you. For basically, nothing if you can get him, or if someone drops him. So just make sure you
see
guys
this for the boys.
see
Also,
that.
you guys missed like 3 trades in the get right league.
No way, dude. We got
That's
trade, and I'm
crazy.
not in any of that. What's up, fellas? No, I'm just sitting back eating popcorn. I think I have like the second to the last pick, if I even have my 4th.
I was about to say,
damn,
you
been
don't have
down.
any picks, right? Like you're
Nah,
not doing
I
much,
traded all my picks, bro.
much of anything.
Yeah, I sold my soul to the devil, trying to win the championship. So yeah,
How'd that
so
work
there we
out for
go.
you?
Second place the last 2 years. I went from 12th to second to second, and kept losing to Nick. So it's kind of getting on my nerves, but both times because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, man. I first got DeMar Hamlin, which shout out to DeMar Hamlin. Got no ill will or any bad feelings to you there. But when it came to fantasy, that kind of sucked. To lose by 10 points when you had your quarterback and your number 1 receiver basically still to play, and you don't get those points, and you lose by like 10 points. Had they just scored 10 more points, I win. And then last year I just kind of fizzled out. Justin Jefferson got hurt, Burrow got hurt, and just couldn't get there. Don't really have the depth since I'm so top heavy since I traded everything. So I gotta kind of retool. I gotta go back to the drawing board. Luckily I got that JJ Chase combo, so not really hurting anywhere. My guys are still young. It's just how it is. Can these guys win together, or do I need to shake things up a little bit? So that's what I'm kind of decided. We'll let the dust settle from our mock here, or our actual rookie draft, and we'll see how it shakes out. I like trading for players, not necessarily picks. I want to know who I'm getting once we see how things going. So we'll see how
Yeah.
it all goes. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, man. So that wraps it up. Anything else you would kind of want to add on that? Any big takeaways from the NFL draft that you want to do? If not, we can kind of wrap this thing up here. Wilson says, great stab on Mitchell. Appreciate that,
Yeah.
Wilson.
Hey,
And
Anthony's
Jeezy
always
said,
been good
F
on
them
that.
picks.
I
Hell
give
yeah,
him props
Jeezy.
on this. Anthony is really good at remembering who got injured at some point during the year and then like drafting them the next year, because most of the draft people forget about them. Their stats don't pop because they played half the season. They have 6, 7, 8, 10 games in there uh, under their belt, but they
Value.
just don't move up, and people just kind of put them in the back of the mind. They're out of sight, out of mind. And you've been, I'll give you props on that. You've been pretty good about remembering those guys. That hey, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you
Except
know
he
how it
went
is,
down for half
some
the year.
some people have those, some people have those, but remember last year I was totally out on Brees and totally out on Javonte Williams. I went 1 for 2 in that category. You could
Yeah,
say Brees was, he still produced pretty good. I think he was still like a top 10 back, even with the
he came
industry,
back late.
with the
Yeah,
injury. Coming back from it, basically played week 1, didn't get re-injured. So I was surprised on that. Easily becomes my, RB2, top 3 RB pick this year, no brainer, because I wanted to see it last year. I needed to make sure he made that recovery. And same thing with Javonte, but Javonte didn't go back to where he was. So like I said, I was willing to be wrong on those guys that year. But again, I like, grabbing those guys, once they're kind of a year removed from that, which is again why I was big on J.K. Dobbins, but then, he ended up just getting a totally separate, season ending injury. I don't know why I keep
injury.
saying industry. So again, and then Jeezy has to remind me that I was way out on Evans. I was definitely on the Godwin because I didn't think Baker would be able to connect with Evans, and boy, was I wrong on that. So again, I'll tell you guys when I'm wrong, man.
Hey, didn't we bring
Is
up
what it
that
is.
stat
It
with
happens.
Mike Evans about just being so consistent and this and that? And remember we were
Oh yeah,
it
the
was like a couple
1,000-yard
years ago. Yeah,
seasons and all that. Yeah,
yeah.
no,
Told you,
exactly. But
don't
I
knock
just
my
thought
guy,
with
man.
Baker, yeah, he's QB proof. I mean, what can you
Yeah,
say? You forget some guys are just QB proof, and there was the whole situation where I thought he was going to get traded, because they didn't want to extend him and all that stuff, Jeezy. So there was some other stuff, that was, I didn't think we would get that type of, production out of him. I would have loved to see him go, and I actually did, Jeezy. I did trade for him mid-season. And did get Evans on one of my dynasty teams, actually in a dynasty league. I actually traded for like all the old heads. I traded Rashid
oh yeah.
Rice
Yeah, you
and
went
Addison for
3
like
old guys,
Cooper Cup, Amari Cooper,
Evans
Nook
and somebody else.
Hopkins, Mike Evans, and like someone else. So I traded like 2 of the brand new rookies, like Addison and Rice, who were like balling, which I just probably shouldn't have done, but I couldn't pass up the quantity and the value. And I was actually trying to rebuild with that team, and I somehow was like in 3rd place. So I just went for it, and then ended up kind of losing their steam towards the end. I think I got like 4th or 5th place or something after it all shook out in the playoffs. But yeah, so you got to take those stabs every once in a while. I'm not
Yeah,
afraid to shake things up. When you play in 16 different leagues, it allows you to get a little crazy every once in a while.
exactly.
So
Can't win
I'll
them
take
all.
my chances where I can. Exactly. But yeah, man. So again, just want to give a big shout out, man. Hopefully you guys hit that subscribe button for us if you are new here to Get Right Fantasy. Again, we're here with you guys right now during the off season. We'll be here Mondays and Fridays. We typically do the Friday night mocks, and then Frank and I come back and usually grade the mock that we did on Friday, kind of give our ranking 1 through 12, give it a letter grade. We go over kind of roster construction, not necessarily like picks, but how people kind of put their team together, what they were thinking, how they read the draft, kind of give you that insight as far as helping you get prepped for your drafts when it counts. And so again, but again, my boy here wanted to scratch that itch this week and
Yeah.
just do a mock himself, since
I'm
he never
telling you,
gets that mock
we're
on
probably gonna
Friday.
continue
So
this up. We're gonna have the grades. We're gonna have the grades done, and then continue another mock. Maybe we'll
just
do
hit the grades real quick and then boom, hit another mock, right?
maybe do another
There
one
we
with
go.
our
We're gonna have to
other
start doing our
sponsor
underdog.
here, underdog ones.
Yeah,
That's
I was gonna
about
say,
to say.
see, we're
Already
on the
switched
same
it up.
page.
Already
Go
switched
ahead,
it
hit
up
it.
right there. So that's underdog fantasy, man. a supporter of ours. You know, they do. Are they matching $100 already right now, or what?
Yeah, $100 deposit match up to your first or $100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Again, a great best ball platform. They already have some of the bigger tournaments open. The big one's going to be the Best Ball Mania course that you want to get into. $25 buy-in for your chance to win millions of dollars. Like last year, I think it was $3 million. Who knows what it's going to be this year? So we're waiting for that to drop. So make sure you check that out there. Use that promo code Get Right when you do. It helps the channel. Helps us out over here, man. And more importantly, it's a lot of fun. If you can't get in one of these mocks with us, get into an underdog mock with us or an actual draft. Because again, when people are putting, as little as $3 down for an actual draft, they're going to take it serious. You're not going to get guys taking random people, in round one. It's going to be legit. And so it really does help you. And again, I've been, doing underdog now, I think for the last 2 or 3 years, I think, since we started the channel. Now going on our 4th. And I can tell you guys, I think the first year I did like 80 of them. Last year, up to last year, I think I toned it down a little bit. I went a little higher stakes, but I did get a 70 or 46th place out of 70,000+ people. I turned my $4 into $500. So it was pretty cool playing in the final round and placing 46 last year. So it really does help you, man. Again, I was able to take home 2 belts, a ring, and very competitive in all my other leagues. So. Couple not so well. I think I got my first last place ever, even though I was trying in our ambassador league, which was tough. But yeah, for the most part, man, make sure you guys check out underdogfantasy.com and use that promo code Get Right. All right, so there it is. So we got everyone saying thanks. We're out. They're leaving us now. It's late, especially those guys on the East Coast, man. We appreciate you coming out over here, man. Total degenerates out there. We appreciate it. Again, we'll be back here on Friday. Again, join that private sleeper channel. You guys got questions, anything you want to do, looking for mocks, that aren't being live streamed. We still run mocks every day. There's a pinned mock draft thread. You can put your own in there or see if anyone else has some going. So be sure to utilize that. So again, we appreciate you. Of course, Wicked and Firefeet, man. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully we'll see you out again. Otherwise, Frank, anything else you got, man? Are you ready to close this thing out?
We're good. Let's
go. All right, man. Let's do it. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on Friday with Classic Mike and myself. For Dustin, for Classic Mike, for Tycoon, for my boy Frank over here. And as you guys know, I'm Rasta. We'll see you guys on Friday, man. Peace out.
Marking nothing but I tune every Friday. Strategies provide.